Namaste everybody. Today I've been asked to speak about something which happens to us at some time or the other. It may be short-lived, it may be serious, it may be chronic, turning into a medical illness. It's called depression, where your mind takes over, you get victimized into a state of hopelessness, a mood disorder. You lose hope, you become lonely, you get cornered, and you go deeper and deeper into a ditch all by yourself, not knowing how to get out of it. And it is becoming more and more common. Lots of suicidal cases out of depression, and it hits the affluent, the rich, the learned, the intellectuals, anybody, maybe less to poor people, since they don't have much to think, since they don't have much to feel. So, what happens? You go to a psychiatrist and he gives you antidepressants, which are temporary, which are sedative, which have side effects. And it does not solve the root cause of why this depression occurred and how to get out of it. Or you go to a psychologist and he tries to play with your mind, change your pattern of thinking, hoping, put some sense into you, into your psyche, not realizing that you have become a puppet of your own mind. And with the same mind who's become your master, now you're trying to change that master. How can a master change? Sorry, you can't. So psychologists and psychiatrists, maybe they've succeeded to a certain extent. Yes, it is a medical illness. It can create a lot of physical and mental imbalances. There is no doubt about it. And there is no easy cure for it. That also we know. And it all depends on the individual self. It is he or she who goes through this. A person who has lost hope has to somehow revive his hope back. Hope and faith, two very important factors on which we live upon. If we don't have faith, we're going to suspect everybody around us. And if we don't have hope, then there is no reason to live, there is no purpose to live. We are here to create a meaning and purpose in our life. And there has to be hope behind it. So, spiritualism, the subject and the study of the spirit, can help us to a large extent only and if the depressed person wishes to get out of it, wants to get out of it, not otherwise. Not otherwise. That person has to realize that we, as a human being, are a composite of three elements: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. Body, mind, and the spirit. Body, mind, of course, everybody says we know quite a lot about it. Science claims it knows a lot. But we also know that the mind controls the body. But we do not know that it's the spirit behind which checks and guides the mind very subtly. Like, for example, whenever you're doing something wrong, there's a subtle voice, somebody else behind you, somebody else behind your physical self and your mental self, that spiritual self telling you, don't do it, you're crossing your limit, it's not worth it, you might get into trouble, you might go into danger, you might do this, you might do that. So spiritualism, the subject of the spirit, and spirit is that life in you. Otherwise, your body and mind is mechanical like any machine. It's a robot. A computer is more or less the same. Like your mechanical mind and your body. Hard disk is the brain. RAM is the memory. Mind is the central processing unit, the intellect. But the computer does not have a life of its own. It has to be charged. It has to be switched on and switched off. But your mind and the spirit and the body, you're a spiritual being going through a human experience. That is how you can read your mind. Your mind is your instrument to use. But in a depressed person, you're getting used by it. So, all practices done by the mind to go towards becoming spiritual is referred to as spirituality. Spiritual with an ITY, like humanity. Then you become humane, like divinity, when you start going towards the divine. Anxiety, when there's a certain level of anxiousness within you. So, spirituality is that reformative process. And the depressed person has to, if he or she is seriously interested, probe into this subject. Because a depressed person has a level where, under normal circumstances, the intellect is controlling the emotions. The intellect is dictating the emotions. The intellect is guiding the emotions. But in a depressed person, it's the reverse. Now, the emotions have totally taken over the rationality, the pragmatic nature of the intellect, not to reason and judge. It has lost its power of judgment. It has gone into a realm where nothing seems to make a difference. Nothing. It has taken over. The emotions has taken over control. And Once the negative thought, mine actually is 80% negative. There are lots, normally thinks negatively on every aspect. So the negativity has taken over. Negativity has taken over. Probably because you have never taken care of your physical and mental self with your spirit as you should have done. So, failures is one big cause of getting into this state of affair. Failure. Why not take failure as a stepping stone towards success? Success. When you are successful, you become egoist. You stop rising further, you start stagnating. But failures is a stepping stone to success. You learn something out of it. You learn something out of it. That is one. Second, we have a tendency to compare. Oh God, that person is so successful, I am not. These are the things which takes you down in your self-esteem. And your self-esteem, it takes you down. Never compare yourself with others. You are you, unique. 7.5 billion people are unique in this world. Nobody is alike. So why compare? Why compare? What you need to do is love yourself. Love yourself. There's a war going on within a depressed person between his emotions and his rationality, and emotions are taking over. So do not lose hope. Do not lose faith. Try not to analyze everything. Live it. Experience it. Live it. Experience it. Your spirit is that witnessing self within you. Utilize that. Keep on witnessing your mind, your thoughts. Keep on. Keep on watching yourself inside through that witnessing self. Why has this happened to me? Question yourself. Fight it out yourself. Be that witness. Be that witnessing self, the true self, the observant self, not the experiencing self of the good and bad and happiness and sadness and God and divine and the life of duality. Keep observing yourself. Try to be existential. Live fully for today, not bothering too much of what happened in the past and what is going to happen in the future. So let's come down to some spiritual methods. Spiritual methods to treat yourself. The moment you're depressed and you've come to know, because you want to get out of it and you're alert now. You've made up your mind that I want to get out of this depression, which is hitting me time and again and which is pulling me down. And I'm not listening to everybody, so let's listen to myself. And I say, okay, so what do? Immediately start breathing. Breathing cuts off that flow of thoughts which is currently running in your mind. It just cuts it off. It's that life energy, that prana, that spiritus. Breath. First, then after. You have cut your mind so that it does not bounces back your depressive thoughts. Start chanting. Start chanting. Second way to cut off your mind from those thoughts. Apply your brakes. First, the brake is applied by breathing. Then second is by chanting. Chant anything. Anything. From Jesus Christ, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, or Om, 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 or anything that you feel like. Just keep on chanting. Not allowing your thoughts, make your thoughts silent for that moment. Make your thoughts silence. And awaken your witnessing soul. When the moment the mind becomes silent, the witnessing self awakens. And with that, distract your mind. Just get up and do something. Do something. Anything. To break those thoughts. Don't lie down and go deeper into your depressive thoughts and your loneliness all by yourself and your tears and whatnot. Just get up. Do anything. But get up and distract. And because you have no option. You have to take remedial yourself. You have to wake up. You have to cut your mind off those depressive thoughts. You have to take over the steering of your mind. You cannot allow your mind to rule it. It is your mind. That is why you never say, I am mind, I am thoughts. You will always say, my mind, my thoughts, your possession. So, you are somebody else. You are that spirit. Mind is yours and your mind is taken over. So, beat it. Take over. Cut it off. And just realize you have no other option. If something has hit you badly, now you have to live with it. And once you start living with it, use your mind. Don't take it as a problem. Make it as a challenge. And live it. Fighting it. Conquering it. But don't analyze. The moment you analyze, you start getting into negative pattern. Analysis. You already have analyzed enough. So, please, wake up. Thank you very much.